Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. I'm your host, Terry Edelman, at TE Picks over on X, ready to break down the Wednesday slate. Normally, we have maybe 3 games, maybe 5 games on a Wednesday slate, but not today. No, we got 10 games to break down today's slate. 6 of them I'll be breaking down individually for the end of the show, and the rest of the games on the slate segment. And I did a poll yesterday on the YouTube channel because somebody requested a best bet segment. So I asked all of you, the subscribers here on the channel, do you guys want a best bet segment? 98% said yes. So that's a clear message to me. So today will be the first day with the best bet segment, where I'll give you my favorite bet that I gave out on the show at the end of the show. So we'll get to that at the end of the show. But first, we'll start the show as we normally do, which is taking a look back at what happened yesterday. Starting with the Columbus Blue Jackets and the New Jersey Devils. This was my member play of the day, was on Columbus money line. The Blue Jackets winning 3-0 in this game. I would say a no sweat, except that it was 0-0 for a long time and could have definitely gone any kind of way. But Columbus, the better team in the third period, got the 3-0 win. So the member play of the day cashes to start off the day. Tim Stützle, anytime goal plus 200, a nice winner here. Stützle continues his goal scoring streak. He is red hot in scoring goals right now. Sabres money line. We were close, but couldn't quite get there. And I would be bad about the fact that the Sabres let Tampa Bay tie up the game, but I personally can't be too mad. You'll find out in a couple seconds why. But unfortunately, Buffalo Sabres money line does lose. Rasmus Dahlin over half an assist. 10 of his last 11 games against the Lightning, he has an assist. For whatever reason, Dahlin loves to play the Tampa Bay Lightning and racks up the assists when he faces them. And yeah, as I alluded to, Darren Radish, anytime goal. If there was anybody that was going to tie up the game at that moment, I wanted it to be Darren Radish, and it was. So plus 360, anytime goal, nice winner here. Quarter unit play, show exclusive play. But that's why I'm not too upset that the Sabres let them tie it. But once Tampa did tie it, I knew the Sabres weren't going to win, so that's how it goes. Zach Hyman, anytime goal, lost. Hyman did not score. The Edmonton Oilers losing 5-2 to Toronto. So the game did end up going over for anyone that had 6.5. But the Oilers, a stinker at home against a struggling goaltender that they were not able to solve for the most part. And then Jared McCann, anytime goal. Unfortunately, he got the primary assist on one of the Kraken goals, but didn't score. So overall, a 4-3 day for me over on the Picks and Parlays website. So another winning day. And we'll look to keep it going here on today's slate. Let's go jump into the chat and see what people are thinking here. Let's see here. Hope all is well, Terry. Yeah, I can't complain, honestly. Nothing I can complain about right now. Like the video. Thank you, GSF. I appreciate that. Wild Stars, Avs all winning today. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Every time the Wild win and it's like, okay, we can go a little bit ahead of the Stars, and then Dallas wins. So it sucks. But Robertson goal for his 200th. Okay, I like it. He killed us. Radish had to score, huh? LOL. Well, I know it sucked, but as long If it was anybody else, I would have been really pissed off. Oh, yeah. But because it cashed a plus 360 that I gave out of the show yesterday, can't be too upset. But that's yesterday's slate. But we're going to move on to today. And we'll start here with the first game, which is the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers. Boston plus 125, road dogs. Florida minus 150, home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Looking at goalies here, Jonas Korpisalo confirmed for Boston, 10-7-0, 3.08 goals against average, 896 save percentage. Sergei Bobrovsky, 20-17-1, 3.11 goals against average, 871 save percentage. So pretty similar numbers between these two. And that's one of the reasons why the Florida Panthers are not in a playoff position. And I'm not throwing this all on Bobrovsky. It's not all his fault. But he needs to play better. Gave up 5 goals on 20 shots in his last game against Buffalo. Has just not been playing well. Maybe this break is exactly what Bobrovsky needs. That could very well be true. This break might really help him for down the stretch. Florida, 4-1-1 in the last 6 meetings between the two teams, and 4 of the last 5 have gone over 6.5. Usually high-scoring games between these two teams. When we look at what Boston's done recently, 4-3, 4-3, 3-2, 6-3, and 6-5. The Bruins have been involved in very high-scoring games. Florida have lost 4 in a row, 4-3 to Utah, 5-4 to St. Louis, 2-1 to Winnipeg, but Winnipeg can't score, and then Buffalo, a 5-3 loss there. So when I look at this game here, I'm asking myself why I haven't already locked in the over. I think the over 6.5 is a good play here. With the fact that it is Korpisalo here against Bobrovsky. 4 of the last 5 have gone over. Both teams have been trending towards the over. I do lean with the over here. Now, there is injuries on both sides, of course. But the Bruins didn't have Lindholm in their last game. It still went over. When I look at this game here, if I was going to be pulling the trigger on something, it would be the over 6.5. Small lean with the Bruins as well. This Panthers team is just not playing well right now. And yeah, Boston coming off a loss, but a shootout loss. They've been racking up points. So I would lean with the over 6.5 and the Bruins. But we're going to take Morgan Geekie anytime goal plus 175 here in this one. Geekie has now scored in 4 of his last 5 games. He's red hot again. 2 multi-goal games during that stretch of his last 5 games, including his last game. He's also scored in 2 of his last 3 games against Florida. And I just mentioned Florida, Bobrovsky not playing well, the Panthers defensively not playing well. So we'll take the hottest goal scorer for the Bruins, Morgan Geekie, anytime goal here, plus 175 here in this one. First game of the day. But before I get to the chat, other players on streaks here. Other Geekie's on a 7-game point streak, of course. McAvoy on a 6-game point streak. Arvidsson back-to-back games, 6 of his last 10 with a point, plus 112. Marat Kusadinov has a point in 3 games in a row for Boston, plus 145. And Evan Rodriguez points in back-to-back games, 3 of 5, plus 111. Obviously, Geekie here on the goal scoring streak. Victor Arvidsson has scored in back-to-back games, plus 300. And then assist streaks. If there was another prop that I was getting to in this game, it would be Charlie McAvoy over half an assist. 5 games in a row, 7 of his last 10 with an assist. 2 games with multiple assists, 3 against Montreal, 2 against Tampa Bay. And he does have an assist in 3 of his last 6 against Florida. So I would lean that way as well. But his assists prop is what? Minus 105? Yeah, minus 105, minus 110, in most spots. So just a lean, but I like goals here. I like Geeky to score. McAvoy probably gets an assist as well here. Let's go to the chat here. Let's see here. Hi Terry, I'm going to see the Blue Jackets tonight. Awesome, Timothy. Have a great time. Your Jackets are hot right now. Had Darlene and Saber same game parlay. Oh no. Yeah, they couldn't get the job done. Sam Bennett has 9 goals in 13 games versus Korpisalo and just got named to Team Canada. There you go. So he might be a little motivated here. Extra motivated. What's up, Terry? A little busy, but always try to stop in, hit the like, and support what you do. Thanks, Sweet Pickles. I appreciate it. Fraser Minnan point plus 125. All right. Terry, you don't work for the Panthers. You can blame Bob. Let the Panthers and their fans send hate mail. That's true. But it's not all his fault, okay? It's not all his fault, but he does have to look in the mirror a little bit. Good luck today, everyone here. Thank you for the show, my brother, Terry. Thanks, Top Geo. Nice to see you. Hit the like button if you can, folks. Appreciate it. Sam Bennett feasts on Korpisalo in the Olympic bump. There you go. Anton Lundell has 5 goals in 7 games versus Korpisalo, plus 300. All right. Gonna ride Minton middle stat line for me tonight. All right, good luck. Share, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you, Subaru. Appreciate it as always. Bruins over 6.5, minus 105. Yeah, I lean that way. I do lean with the over here. Hello from Chicago, Red Wings fan. Okay, I won't hold it against you that you're from Chicago because you're a Red Wings fan, so you're good. I'm kidding, Blackhawk fans. I'm kidding. We all know my feelings on the Blackhawks, but that's for another time. Speaking about the Blackhawks, though, Chicago, plus 125, road dogs. Columbus, minus 150, home favorites. And a total of 6 here in this one. Looking at goalies here, Spencer Knight unconfirmed, Jet Greaves confirmed here. Second night of a back-to-back for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Elvis Merzlikins coming off a shutout in his last game. What has Rick Bowness done to Elvis Merzlikins? Merzlikins used to be an over machine. If he was starting, you could just bet the over. But now, not so much anymore. But he won't be in net here. It'll be Jet Greaves here in this spot. These two teams just faced each other, I believe it was on the 30th. And if you remember when I broke down that game, this is a very one-sided series between these two teams. Columbus has now won 6 games in a row against Chicago. 6 overs, 1 under, and 1 push in the last 8 meetings. Very high-scoring games between the two teams. Columbus has won all 6 games by multiple goals. 5 of the 6 games they won by 3 or more goals. And they've scored 4 more goals in 7 of their last 8 against Chicago, 5 or more goals in 4 of their last 5 against Chicago. The only game they didn't score 5 or more was the last one where they won 4-2. So the Blue Jackets love facing the Chicago team. But obviously Columbus on the second night of a back-to-back here. The Blackhawks coming in, snapping their losing streak where they were giving up 4, 5, 6 goals a game. Snapped that with a 6-3 win against the Sharks in their last game. This Blue Jackets team just continues to win here. But coming off a 3-game road trip back home here, when I look at this game, though, this Columbus Blue Jackets team, I said they were a bet-on team throughout this 5-game stretch, and I still think so. I think they're going to be very motivated to win this game, final game before the break. They want to go into this break with their win streak intact. And to be honest, when they come back, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to keep this up. So dominated Chicago for a long time. I do like Columbus here if you want to back them either in regulation or on the team total over 3.5. Only scored 3 yesterday, but I think they could score 4 here in this spot. Let's see. Does Chicago play tomorrow? No, they do not. No, they do not. This is the last game for both teams then, heading into the break. So do we see Spencer Knight, or maybe do we see Soderblom? We'll have to see. But looking at player streaks here in this game, point-wise, Cole Sillinger, 4 of his last 5 games with a point, plus 182. And he has points in 5 games against the Blackhawks, 3 multi-point games during that stretch. Wow. Sillinger has absolutely lit up the Hawks. Plus 180 just for a point. That's on one spot. Plus 176 at DraftKings, plus 170 other spots. So plus 170, plus 176 for a point when he's got one in 4 of his last 5 games and in 5 games in a row against the Hawks. I'm probably going to have to add Sillinger point here after the show. Somehow I missed that, but that's a huge streak there for him. Bertuzzi has points in back-to-back games, 3 of 5, minus 120. Boone Jenner points in back-to-back games, plus 120. Goal scoring streak, Connor Bedard, 3 games in a row with a goal, and 3 of his last 5 against Columbus, plus 175 for Bedard to score here. Matthew Olivier for Columbus has scored in 3 of his last 4 games, and in 2 of his last 4 against the Hawks. He's plus 700 here to score in this game. So great value for Matthew Olivier here. And then assist streaks, Rensky, but minus 180. There's no value there. Charlie Coyle, 4 of his last 5 games with an assist, plus 167. And then Bertuzzi, Boone Jenner, both back-to-back games with assists, plus 177, plus 230 here in this game. Definitely some value with some props here in this one. Let's see here. I've been hearing the flu bug is going around the Columbus locker room. Wow. Yet they still have done what they've done. That's amazing. Over 6, I could see it here. Bertuzzi point, minus 120, not bad. Jackets are 6-3 in the second half of back-to-backs this season, 1-0 under bonus. Yeah, definitely haven't been an auto fade team, that's for sure. Exact score, 4-3 Columbus. I like it, GSF. Charlie Coyle point, minus 120. Yeah, not a bad look. He's doing great with that, with Olivier and Sillinger on that line. So I'm likely going to have to add Sillinger point because great value there. But I think that's it here for this game. Up next, we've got the Montreal Canadiens and the Winnipeg Jets. Montreal, minus 110. Winnipeg, minus 110. And a total of 6 here in this one. This is the member play of the day. So hit the join button here on YouTube to become a member, and you will get the member play of the day posted right when the show is done. Looking at previous games between these two teams, Montreal, 4-2 in the last 6 meetings. 3 unders and 1 push in the last 4. Usually low-scoring games between these two teams. And close games between these two teams. 4 of the last 7 have gone to overtime between these two. So I think this game is minus 110 for a reason. I do think it's going to be a very close game. We probably likely see the draw here. This one, Samuel Montembeault confirmed for Montreal, and Connor Hellebuyck confirmed for the Winnipeg Jets. And you might be thinking, it's Hellebuyck against Montembeault. Huge goalie advantage for Winnipeg. Not so much. Hellebuyck has given up 3 or more goals in 4 straight games. He's lost 3 of 4, and he's lost 6 of his last 7 starts. So even Connor Hellebuyck can't save this Jets team right now when in games. So looking at player props here. Guys with value, Noah Dobson continues to be hot. Point in 4 games in a row, plus 150. Mike Matheson, 0.45, 7 of his last 10. He's been red hot for a while, plus 170 for a point. Kirby Dach, 3 games in a row with a point, plus 150. And then Cole Perfetti, back-to-back games, plus 113. Goal streaks, Perfetti, back-to-back games, plus 350. Obviously, Caulfield, 3 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10. But he has not scored in his 7. He's in the last 7 games against Winnipeg. He has not scored. So he has not had success against Hellebuck. I'm not going to take Caulfield tonight, which means he's probably going to score, but that's okay. That's okay. Power play point streaks, not a lot to talk about. And assist streaks, Suzuki and Hudson, but minus 148, minus 150, no value there. Matheson assist 4 of his last 5 games, plus 210. Velarde and Noah Dobson, back-to-back games with assists, plus 136, plus 215 here in this game. Here in this one. We'll go to the chat here. Let's see here. Habs money line, easy money. I don't know about easy money, but thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate that. You'll get the play of the day right when the show is done in the membership section. The draw, plus 317. I could see it. Like I said, previous games between these two teams have been very close. So I could see it. Lane Hudson, anytime goal, plus 500. Nice value there. Goal Caulfield, anytime goal, plus 140. All right. Kyle Connor has 14 goals in 23 games against the Canadiens, including 6 goals in the past 6 games. Goals in 5 of 6 versus the Habs, and 5 goals in 6 games versus Monty. There you go. Wow. I should probably be on Kyle Connor goal as well. Anderson has goals in back-to-back games against the Jets in Winnipeg and has 10 goals in 17 games versus Hellebuck. All right. I like it. Kyle Connor over 4.5 shots on goal, plus 280. All right. Robert, you know that Lundell is coming back from 3 days off and was scoreless 5 games beforehand. Okay, good info. Montreal is the most entertaining team in the league. Yeah, a bright future. And when I said at the beginning of the season that the Habs would be a better team than the Leafs, I did get some slack for that. But looking pretty good. Looking pretty good there, Montreal. Canadiens, Jets, Wild, Predators, all to score 2 goals. 2 plus goals. Plus 120. I like that. This game here worries me a little bit because of the unders in the past. But Hellebuck is not in good form. Montembeault is not a shutout type goaltender. So I could see it. JD. But moving on along to our next game, we've got the Minnesota Wild and the Nashville Predators. The Wild, minus 125, road favorites. The Preds, plus 105, home dogs, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Looking at this one here, starting with goaltenders. Philip Gustafsson confirmed. UC Saros confirmed here in this one. Looking at how these two teams are doing recently. Bear with me for a second. Oh, Nashville does play tomorrow. So this is first of a back-to-back for the Preds. The Wild, this is their final game before the break. The Wild come in here having won 4 games in a row, coming off a 4-3 overtime win against Montreal. The Predators snapped their losing streak with a 4-3 win against the Islanders, and then were down 5-1 to St. Louis in their last game. Came back and won 6-5 in regulation. So the Preds with a huge comeback win in their last game. How do these two teams do against each other? Minnesota, 4-1-1 in the last 6 meetings. 4 of the last 7 have gone over 6.5, and 4 of the last 6 have gone to overtime. I locked this in yesterday. Over 6, minus 120. here in this game. No sixes anymore, 6.5s everywhere here in this one. But I still like the 6.5. And I wrote in my write-up, if you can't get the 6, that's fine. Take the 6.5. If you've been living under a rock, then maybe you haven't heard. The Wild are an over team. Minnesota has gone over 6.5 in 11 of their last 12 games and 16 of their last 19. Scoring a shit ton of goals right now, but still giving up goals. Nashville, they've gone over 6.5 in 8 of their last 10. They've been an extremely high-scoring team as of late as well, both scoring and giving up goals. And both games between the two teams this year finished 3-2. So they both have gone under, but both of these teams were not in their current form that they're in right now, which is over. So give me the over 6 here, minus 120. Obviously, you guys at this point would have to take the 6.5. As I said, I still like it at that number. And give me the draw, plus 325 here in this one. 4 of the last 6 meetings, including both meetings this year, have gone to overtime. These two play a lot of close games. I still remember John Hines pulling Fleury in overtime, shocking the world. Now, that was in Minnesota. Boldy getting the overtime winner in that game. I remember it like it was yesterday. Overtimes. Lots of overtimes between these two teams. And no, I'm not done yet. Give me Kirill the Thrill, anytime goal, plus 115 here in this one. Kaprizov has now scored in 5 of his last 6 games. 2 games during that stretch, he scored 2 goals, and he scored in 3 of his last 4 games against Nashville. Kaprizov is 2 goals away from tying Marian Gaborik for the all-time Minnesota Wild franchise lead in goals. 3 goals away from becoming the all-time leader himself. Don't be surprised to see Kirill tie that. I could see him scoring 2 goals here and tying that record the game before the break, and then likely having to wait. Well, he would obviously have to wait until after the break to break the record. But not going to take him for 2 goals here, just going to take him for 1. Absolutely red hot facing this Predators team who's been giving up goals, like I said, as well. So we'll take Kirill Kaprizov, anytime goal, plus 115 here in this one. Point props here. Kirill Kaprizov over 1.5 points, 7 of his last 10 games, plus 145. Brock Faber has a point 3 games in a row, 6 of his last 10. I'm seeing minus 102 here. Bear with me for a second. Goal streaks. Kirill Kaprizov, obviously, 5 of his last 6, as I mentioned. Joel Eriksson Ek. I was very, very close to pulling the trigger on Ek to score here. I do like him. He scored in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 200 for Ek to score. Why did I not bet him? Well, if you look at those 5 games, 1 shot on goal, 2 shots on goal, 0 shots on goal, 1 shot on goal, 1 shot on goal. So he's being very precise with his shooting, but he's not shooting a whole lot. So that's going to keep me off, but don't be surprised to see Eriksson Ek score here. He's absolutely red hot right now. For the Preds, you want to bet Philip Forsberg. He scored in 3 games in a row, 6 of his last 10. Plus 160, and Brock Faber scored in back-to-back games, plus 625. The difference in Faber since Quinn Hughes came is extremely noticeable. Faber's game is just improved by tenfolds, which makes sense. You're playing with Quinn Hughes. He's going to elevate anybody that plays with him. Power play point streaks. Kirill Kaprizov and Quinn Hughes both have a power play point in 3 games in a row for their last 5, plus 150 for Kaprizov, plus 145 for Hughes. Roman Josi is a power play point in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 200. And then Boldy, Stamkos, Forsberg all have power play points recently as well, plus 240, plus 250, plus 225. Assist streaks, Boldy, assist, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 135. And then that's basically it here for this game. Let's go to the chat here. Montreal and Winnipeg have each scored at least 2 goals and 9 of the last 10 against each other. Okay. So low-scoring games, but not that low-scoring. Evangelista assist, plus 150. Okay. Quinn Hughes has 24 assists in 18 games versus Nashville. Over 1.5 points, plus 177. This is the worst day in a 27-day cycle to take overs per my astrology studies. Oh, okay. Well, let other games go under, but not this one, please. Hughes assist has absolutely no value. It's like minus 200. Yeah, exactly. The books are just not ever going to give us value with Hughes. Yes, the Wild and Preds have gone to overtime in 4 of 6, but the 4 overtime games were all in mini. Only one of the last 4 in mini have gone past 60. Okay, that's true, but the teams haven't played in Nashville for a bit. I think most of their meetings recently, I think 3 or 4 in a row, actually. 3 in a row, I think, have been in Minnesota. Quinn Hughes over 1.5 points is boosted plus 195. There you go. Did anyone take the over late first quarter or in the first period? I did not, but would have got a good number. When you get paid that much money, he better be leading the team at everything. LOL. He's not getting paid that much money yet. That's next year. That is next year. He's still getting paid 9 point something right now. But yeah, I get you. Tyson Yost versus old team, plus 800. Wow, he still plays? Didn't even know. Nick Purvix, plus 1,200 from Elk River, Minnesota. There you go. But we'll continue on along with our next game, which is the Detroit Red Wings and the Utah Mammoth. Detroit, plus 110, road dogs. Utah, minus 130, home favorites, and a total of 6 here in this one. Taking a look at goalies here, do a quick refresh. Krell Vejmelka likely for Utah. No one yet announced for the Detroit Red Wings, and extremely similar numbers overall. 2.6 for Gibson, 2.63 goals against average for Vejmelka, 905 save percentage for Gibson, 899 for Vejmelka here in this one. How are these two teams doing recently? Well, Detroit had lost 3 games in a row, but bounced back against the Avs in that home, getting the 2-0 win in Colorado in their last game. Utah had lost back-to-back games, but got a dominant 6-2 win against the Vancouver Canucks in their last game. How do these two teams do against each other? Well, since Utah moved from Arizona, 2-1 against Detroit, but going back to when they were Arizona, 9-1-1 in the last 11. So the Red Wings have had trouble against Arizona / Detroit or / Utah, in the past. It'll be nice in a few years when I don't have to mention Arizona anymore when talking about Utah, but unfortunately, it's going to be a couple years. So you guys will have to keep hearing it. But previous games, 3 unders and 2 pushes in the recent 5 meetings. So not a lot of high-scoring games here. I guess I would kind of lean towards the under a little bit, but ultimately not going to get to anything here in this one. Looking at player props, Barrett Hayden, I mentioned him in the last show. He has a point in 4 games in a row, 7 of his last 10, plus 110. Peterka has a point in 3 games in a row. He's heating up for Utah, minus 110 for a point. DeBrincat has scored in 3 of 5 games, plus 175. Gunther has a power play point in 3 of 5, plus 300. Hayden has an assist in 3 games in a row, plus 200. Kane and Gunther both have assists in 3 of their last 5 games overall here in this one. Let's go to the chat. Avs versus plus Sharks. What we thinking tonight? Avs spread. That's up next. So you're literally moments away from that game breakdown. Hey, Podigen, I saw your comment in the video at the beginning, but I couldn't bring it up because it was before I jumped into the program. So, loose change GFS hockey season, bong up season continues from Garden City, Colorado. Best of luck tonight, Podigen. Have a good one. Yes, there you go. Hal finished it for him because this is always what's in the rest of Podigen's comment. Smash like button, you filthy animals. Yes, smash it. But not too hard, but up next, we've got the San Jose Sharks and the Colorado Avalanche. The Sharks plus 225 road dogs. Colorado minus 275 home favorites. Total 6.5 here. If you want the puck line for either side, you're getting minus 110. If you want the Avs by 2, or if you want the Sharks plus 1.5 here in this one. Looking at previous games between the two teams, Colorado 13-0-1 in the last 14 games between these two teams. They have dominated the Sharks. 1 over and 5 unders in the previous 6 meetings. So actually, usually more lower scoring games here between these two. Colorado usually always finding a way to win. Now the two teams have split the 2 games so far this year. San Jose winning 3-2 in overtime at home, and then the Avs winning 6-0 in Colorado. When I look at this one here, San Jose's lost 3 games in a row, losing to Edmonton, Calgary, and Chicago. In Colorado, they've lost 3 of their last 4, and 7 of their last 10. So the Avalanche have not been in the best form. Now they are getting shut out. They just got shut out at home, 2-0 in their last game. So I kind of lean towards Sharks plus 1.5 to keep this game close. But with the fact that the Avs just got shut out in their last game, I could see them coming out here a little pissed off against this Sharks team. And Colorado does not play tomorrow. So this will be the final game for both teams before the break. I could see Colorado. Obviously, I expect them to come out here pissed with getting shut out in their last game. But I could also see them kind of looking ahead to the break here. They're facing a Sharks team that teams might still overlook a little bit. So it's possible the Avs kind of just look towards the break here and maybe the Sharks can compete. But then it's also possible that they come out here pissed, and if they are the far better team overall and could control this game. But I'm hoping we get somewhere in the middle because for me, give me Will Smith anytime goal plus 250 here in this game. Will Smith has now scored in 3 of his last 4 games and 5 of his last 7 on the road. Will Smith has been great on the road for the Sharks recently. Obviously, top line, top power play unit, plus 250. Great odds here. He's been scoring recently, scoring on the road, and facing this Avalanche team who's not in the best form overall. So we'll go with Will Smith. Anytime goal here in this one. Let's see here. Point props with value here in this one. Will Smith's point is at minus 130, which I would much rather take the goal at plus 250. Eklund point is plus 120. 4 games in a row with a point for Eklund. He's starting to heat up. There's some value there with him. Sherwood may or may not be making his Sharks debut. So something to keep an eye on there. Goal streaks, other than Will Smith, Gaudette and Celebrini have both scored in 3 of their last 5. Plus 825 for Gaudette, plus 180 for Celebrini. And then assist streaks, Eklund 4 games in a row, plus 210 with an assist here in this game. Let's go to the chat here. No worries, homie. All good. Hayden and Schmaltz. Hayden's been really good. Schmaltz coming off the hat trick in his last game, so can't talk you off it. Sharks team total over 2.5 even on Fnatic. I don't hate that at all. I don't hate that at all. Avs have already checked out. I could see that. I could see that. But if the Avs had just won, if they had just beat Detroit in their last game, I would be on the Sharks money line, 100%. But because they just got shut out at home, I feel like they can't just not show up for this game, but they could. We'll see the score. Okay, who's on Sherwood tonight? Plus 150 for a point. Not me, but I wish him luck. I hope he passes the puck to Will Smith in a good position. I took both teams 3 goals. All right, I like that. Hope it happens. I like the new narrative player. He's plus 350. All right, plus 320. All right. I'm gonna wait and live bet the over 5.5 in this one. All right, I could see that. Sherwood is on the top line tonight with Smith and Celebrini. Okay, so he is playing. All right, so making a Sharks debut. Watch him get a hat trick and Smith get 3 assists. I'll be so not impressed with his debut if that's the case. So at least get me 1 Smith goal and then Sherwood can do whatever he wants. But before we get to the best bet segment, which those join the show midway, 98% of people wanted a best bet segment. So I can't argue with that. The 2% that said no, well, sorry, you're going to get one anyways. But looking at the games that I did not break down here, which are pretty much the remaining 4 games on the slate, like the early part of the slate much better. St. Louis and Dallas. Dallas has won 6 of the last 7 between the two teams. It feels like Dallas is playing St. Louis every night recently. These teams have already played each other twice in the last, 2 weeks. Lucky Dallas. But I think Dallas wins this game. I think it's likely a low-scoring game. That's what has happened when these two teams have faced each other. Dallas is starting to heat it up right now, starting to win games, but minus 200 home favorites. No interest in betting it. Duchesne has been red hot for the Stars, but on the third line with Ben and somebody else. So maybe he's getting most of that success on the power play. I'm not sure. But Jimmy Snuggerud, a point in 5 games in a row for St. Louis, plus 139. He's got some value. Justin Falk, a point in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 150. Jamie Benn, points in 3 games in a row, plus 167. Goal streaks. Jake Neighbors and Thomas Harley have both scored in back-to-back games. Plus 347 for Neighbors. Harley is plus 900. And he scored in 3 of his last 5 games. Credible value with Harley. Johnston, 3 of his last 5. Duchesne has scored in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 275. Power play point streaks, as you would expect. Robertson, Rantanen, Hintz, and Heiskanen, all power play points in 3 of their last 5 games. Pavel Buchnevich for the Blues also has a power play point in 3 of 5. Assists, Jimmy Snuggerud, 4 of his last 5 games with an assist, plus 288. Heiskanen, 4 of his last 5, minus 105. Justin Falk, 4 of his last 5 games with an assist, plus 215. And Jamie Benn has an assist in 3 games in a row, plus 280 here in this one. Edmonton and Calgary. Edmonton 3-1-1 in the last 5 meetings. 1 over, 3 unders, and 3 pushes for a total of 6, but 6.5. So 1 over, 6 unders when it comes to a 6.5. Edmonton probably should bounce back here after their game last night. But no real interest in betting this game. Lean with the over, but with the heavy under history between the two teams, not going to get to anything here. Guys with value, point-wise, nada. Goal streaks. Farabee has scored in back-to-back games, plus 478 for Calgary. And assist streaks with value. Mackenzie Weegar, back-to-back games with an assist, plus 180 here in this one. Seattle and LA. This one's interesting. Seattle 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between the two teams. 1 over, that's 5.5. So 2 overs and 4 unders in previous meetings. The Kraken plus 150 road dogs. I'm a little tempted. With the Kraken. I'm not sure on their updated back-to-back numbers, but I know that they have been much better on the second night of a back-to-back recently. Had won 4 of their last 5 games, coming off a loss last night. LA, up and down. They've lost 2 of their last 3, coming off a long road trip. We know how the Kings play at home. Now, better at home now, a little bit. It looks better because of all the overtime losses, but 8, 10, and 7 at home. 8 wins, 17 losses. That doesn't sound so good, but for the Kings, I lean with the Kraken. I do. I lean with the Kraken here. Looking at point props, Jordan Eberle, I'm seeing his point prop for minus 120. He has points in 5 of his last 6 games, 2 multi-point games during that stretch. But boy, oh boy, does he like to face LA. Points in 8 of his last 10 games against the Kings. So he's had a lot of success against LA, including 5 of his last 6 road games against the Kings. So Eberle point, minus 120. I like it, but because it's minus 120 and I could see this game being a boring 2-1 type of game, I'm not going to jump on Eberle's point prop, but it does have value. Chandler Stevenson, point prop 4 of his last 5 games, plus 110. Byfield has scored in back-to-back games for LA, plus 330. He was in a cold streak. Maybe he heats up now. And then Stevenson and Adrian Kempe both have assists in 4 of their last 5. Plus 126 for Kempe, plus 182 for Stevenson. And the final game of the night is the Vancouver Canucks and the Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights, minus 300 home favorites. No thank you. No thank you at all. The Canucks, plus 240 road dogs, looks appealing, but I can't back the Canucks either. Absolutely staying away from this game. Vegas is 7-2 in the last 9 meetings between the two teams. 4 games in a row going under 5.5. So some low-scoring games between these two teams. I would be nervous to take the under here in this one. Canucks have lost 4 or 5. Vegas has lost 5 in a row. Neither team playing well. Vegas at home, 12, 8, and 7. They should not be minus 300. They should not be minus 300, but that doesn't mean I'm going to put my money on the Canucks. I can't do that either. So, guys with value, Barbashev is a point in 3 games in a row, minus 110. He's also scored a goal in 3 games in a row, plus 275. And back-to-back games against the Canucks, Barbashev has scored. So if I was going to get to a prop here, it would be Barbashev anytime goal, plus 275. Mitch Marner has scored in 3 games in a row as well for the Vegas Golden Knights. And then Teddy Bluger, 3 of his last 5 games, plus 650 for the Canucks. And then not much to talk about for assists here in this one. But let's quickly go to the chat here. Holtz, plus 900 anytime goal. Top line with Eichel and Barbashev. All right. Johnston Donuts last game when I had him for anytime point. You know what that means tonight. There you go. McDavid and Draisaitl donut. Yeah. High blood sugar. Yeah, if you're eating a bunch of donuts. Why is Holtz on the top line? They that desperate in Vegas? They trying to switch something up, but Seattle's won 3 of the last 5 in the second half of back-to-backs, including a win at LA. Kings are 4-7 this season as a favorite, minus 170 plus. I really do lean with Seattle. Vancouver money line. All right, you're a braver guy than me. Maybe live bet Vegas if they get to plus money. Maybe, but would not shock me to see Vegas lose to the Canucks. It wouldn't. The games with a favorite of minus 300 plus have seen the underdog score a goal in the first period 14 of the 18 games. Vancouver, first period goal, minus 112. There you go. There you go. And on to our next segment, the show best bet. Decided to use a space background here because I think it looks nice. Something different than the hockey background here in this one. So for my first best bet, starting this new segment, you guys know what it's going to be. Give me the over 6.5 in Minnesota, Nashville. That's my favorite bet on the card today. Both teams heavily trending towards the over right now, trended towards the over in the past. Lots of overtime games. I see a 3-3 game at some point here. So we'll go with the over 6.5. Now, I'm not going to give the over 6 as my best bet, what I locked in, because obviously it's not available anymore. So that's why I'm giving the over 6.5 as my first picks on net best bet. Jets winning tonight. All right. Good luck. Good luck. But that's today's show. Best luck to everyone tonight on your bets. And tomorrow will be the last episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats, until, of course, the NHL break is over. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for content regarding the Olympics, but NHL videos for all 32 teams are going to come out starting Friday night. Me and guests breaking down the teams, how they've done so far, giving them a grade, and then breaking down what we think for the rest of the season. Not every show will have a guest. Some teams I'll do solo, but we'll have some guests on with me. So excited for that. Lots of NHL content coming, even with the Olympic break on the schedule. Marner scored in 11 of his 15 goals at home. Okay, so he's had a lot more success at home. Thanks, Terry. No problem, Madison. And where were you on the day Picks on Net had their first best bet? Right here. There you go, Rich. There you go. Yeah, the people wanted it. So the people get what they want. Thanks, guys, for watching. Best of luck tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.